Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today at our panel discussion here at Beautyworld. We're here to talk about a more natural approach to skincare, and I can personally vouch for everybody here on this panel knows what they're talking about. So I'd like to introduce today my lovely, lovely guests. This is Mishti, and Mishti is the CEO of Saante Self-Care.
Hi everyone, so happy and honored to be part of this panel. Just a little bit about Saante. So Saante is a homegrown brand founded by Malini about 8 to 10 years back in the Middle East. We're a wellness brand that is rooted in Ayurveda, aromatherapy, and Reiki, along with in every single product or every single concoction that Malini has derived or made, there is about 45 years of learning that comes with it. It is a brand that follows a slow beauty approach, and it's a brand that follows a ritualistic approach to beauty.
And we have the beautiful Malini Ohri, who's the founder of Saante Self-Care.
Thank you so much. Maybe not. Hello? Can you all hear me?
Yes, it's on.
It's on. It's on. It's lovely to be here chatting with you all.
Closer.
You can't take this and then you share. Hello? Yeah, that's better. I can hear myself now. Lovely to have you all here. Mishti has introduced the product to you. I would think that this is my learning. I'm 65 years old. I started, I think, learning or imbibing clean beauty from my mum, who's in her 90s, because anything that happened in her house, the doctor was seen later. First, she would use the Ayurvedic natural remedies to help us to get better. And my mum's brother was an Ayurvedic doctor, so I think she picked it up from there, and she was a home science graduate, so she knew about plants and natural remedies. And at that time in India, if the baby had colic, they were given fennel seed water, not gripe water, nothing, no remedy from a bottle. Everything was made at home. The baby had constipation, well then rose petals were boiled and given to the baby. So I started imbibing all of this maybe from the time I was conscious of my environment, which was probably around 5. And all my life, I only wanted to heal people. And that has resulted in a clean, natural brand, steeped in the old Ayurvedic tradition and aromatherapy, because both are cousins of each other, because they're all plant and nature based. And so we have this beautiful natural brand, which covers beauty and wellness, because you cannot be beautiful if you're not well from inside. For me, beauty has to come from within. And being a therapist, and I realize that a lot of people are suffering from ailments which may not or cannot be treated medically. And then I realized that we need to go back into nature. And Ayurveda is a 5,000-year therapy which has been tried and tested over all these generations. So to bringing it together with aromatherapy in my clean brand was probably a natural consequence of my circumstances and of being very conscious of moving away from now what we know as very harmful chemicals in our cosmetics.
That's very true. Very, very true. And last but not least, the lovely Anisha Oberoi, who is the CEO and founder of Secret Skin.
Thank you for having me today, and hello everybody. It's a really busy first day. Just as a way of introduction, Secret Skin is a beauty tech platform. What does this mean? We bring together beautiful brands around the world that have sustainability practices at the very root. I exist because brands like these exist. Because when you have a lens on sustainability practices around the value chain, of ethical sourcing, fair trade, shipping, production, and you're thinking of the environment as deeply as you are thinking about the consumer, then I think that from an idea, it becomes a platform or an entity, and then it becomes a movement. Secret Skin is a COVID baby. The week I incorporated Secret Skin, the world went into lockdown. And we just completed our second year of being operational. It's homegrown. And I'm very privileged and honored to be here as we start our third year.
Well, congratulations, and lovely to have you all. I'd like to actually start the panel discussion with a very generic conversation that I'm going to direct back to you, Anisha, which is, why are so many brands looking back to nature moving forwards?
I don't think that it's going back to nature more than it is a returning to the self. I think we're fed up of marketing indoctrination and skincare brands started by celebrities, and we're fed up of being deluded. And I think that we forget that there's a very intrinsic relationship between the micro and the macro. And I think that practices like Ayurveda, they help us return to the self, because it's about balancing the mind and body, and that is self-care. More and more brands now are moving towards that conscious movement, because you have to be responsible in the way that you consume, and you have to educate your customer on how they can be a better consumer and still be very responsible and mindful. I think it's more that.
But all of that comes with transparency.
Yes.
So is there a lot that you place on the brands that you work with to be transparent in their practices?
So let me take you back. Was this a business decision? No, it wasn't. It was a very intentional decision. It was built with purpose. So you just said, firstly, I hope I look like you at 65. Secondly, you said that it was driven by a frustration and a need for yourself. So I had breast cancer 12 years ago. And when I was undergoing chemotherapy, I was not allowed to use anything that was available outside. And that's when I realized that everything that we use has carcinogens and parabens, and they're going to impact your hormones and negatively impact your fertility. And I was very frustrated, but I wasn't ready 12 years ago. I didn't have the education, I didn't have the work experience, and that was the genesis of Secret Skin. So when I moved here almost 4 years ago, I was trying to look at where a customer can buy something that is honest and authentic, where I know the production date, I know the expiry date, I know what goes into the product. I didn't even know, I don't think the customer knows that, is the product registered at Dubai municipality? We don't even know about the regulatory. But when we buy from someone, the retailer has a responsibility of doing all that due diligence so that I can close my eyes and buy. Yeah. So when I started, I put my Amazon hat on. My background is e-commerce. And I put my Amazon hat on and I said, hang on a second. If I can create something where the customer can trust in the way that I put the brands together, and if I make it available the same day instead of making the customer wait for 3 weeks, and if I can give it to them at the same price instead of them paying 55 and 60% in shipping and customs, I'm on the right track. And that's why we're still here.
Would you like to add anything to that question?
Mishti, anything you want to say? Is it working? Yeah. I'm so grateful for platforms like yours, because then we don't have to stand and try and sell our product, because everything is explained very well on e-commerce. And what I find very often when I am selling the product, they'll come and say, is it safe? Are you sure that it's not going to harm me? And I start laughing. I said, you know, the toothpaste that you use on a daily basis for the last 30, 40 years is probably harming you more. But you don't question it because of, like you said, that the fabulous marketing where they have hidden the fact of the carcinogenics and the harmful stuff. Everything is not carcinogenic. It can cause hormonal imbalance or disbalance in women. It can cause mood-altering issues in us, and we don't realize, and they're not medical. Yeah. So when we go to the doctor, he said, there's nothing wrong with you. But you say, you know, I'm not feeling well, and I don't know why I'm not feeling well. Whether it could be the perfume you're using, which does not come from natural sources, or the cream you're putting on twice a day on yourself, thinking, wow, I'm going to look great. It may make you look great, but it may not make you feel well, because a lot of bad products, chemicals are hidden, and we as the layperson do not realize what they are. They're all hidden. Till now, luckily in the last 10, 15 years, people are now very, very conscious of reading the labels, and I've always said this, read the label. Many years back, I had taken a friend to a doctor, and he was an ENT specialist. And he asked her, she said, I went to so-and-so, and he gave me an injection, and he said, what injection? He said, I don't know. He said, it's your body, your money, and your mind. You must know what you're putting into yourself. And now we know that everything that we put on ourselves also goes into the body, which is the old Asian Indian practice of Ayurveda, which said that anything you put on goes in. Yeah. And it actually harms you more than if you were eating something which was not so good for you, because it gets digested here. So half of it has gone, good and bad, both has gone. But what we apply on our skin, which is the largest organ of the human body, is going to impact us in a positive or a negative way, depending on what we are using and what we are applying on ourselves. So yes, I think it is very, very important to know what we are doing to make ourselves look and feel beautiful.
100%.
I want to add something here, sorry, just to what you were saying, that why are we going back? And you're a new mom, you just had a beautiful little baby. I find that we're so particular about what our baby eats, what our baby wears, what fabrics touch the baby, what are we putting on our body when we're breastfeeding. Not that I have any experience, but I greatly respect the way you balance this life. But why is it that when we grow older, we start deprioritizing these things? I find that fascinating, because I have people who will import the formula from other parts of the world, not realizing that what they're putting on their skin is directly being absorbed by your bloodstream. So when people ask me, where should we make the switch? Open your cabinet and make the switch with the easiest, smallest things first.
Yeah, but you've touched on a point that's very true. It's not just what we put on baby, but what we put on ourselves goes on to baby. So I changed my skincare completely and actually removed most of it, not because it didn't work for me, but because I was scared it was not going to work for baby.
A lot of the products, starting with baby oil, is paraffin oil. It is the most harmful thing to use. And we start our baby with that. Not the pure ghee or the olive oil, which now luckily people are realizing. And going back to it,
Seed oils, terrifying.
Yes. We are doing a full circle and going back from where human beings started. Back to nature, and very conscious about what we are doing.
Mishti, on that point, I'm going to drag you into the conversation a little bit here. Let's talk a little bit about the slow beauty movement. Now, we know it's all about developing a more sustainable self-practice, but how do you, in Saante Self-Care, help ensure that ethos is followed through?
So when Saante started, everything that we did, or every product that was made, it follows sort of a ritual. So we help you start a self-care practice using products in order. So for example, you can start with hair oiling, or you can start with a hair tonic, but you follow a self-practice ritual that helps you go back to yourself, connect with yourself, fall in love with yourself while using every single product. Because every product that we made, or that we have made in that is part of the Saante brand, heals you from within. So we don't just say, put the oil and it's going to do wonders, but we say, allow the oil while you're putting it in to connect with your body, to connect with your soul. So it does more than just, for you to have beautiful hair, the physical aspect of it. It actually heals you from within. So I think that is the brand ethos, and I feel we're constantly telling our clients that this is the approach that they need to use when they use our products. There's no quick fixes. I mean, you put on a face oil, yes, you might glow, but it does more than just that. It takes time. It's an approach that you need to actually want to do. It's luxury for it's luxury for time. So you need to actually spend time with yourself, and that's what the brand teaches you.
May I just add to this? However selfish it sounds, loving yourself is the most important thing. When we take a flight, what do they tell you? If there's less oxygen and the masks fall down, first wear your mask. Don't put it on your child. First you wear it so that you can help somebody else. So self-care starts from loving yourself, prioritizing yourself, using good quality products with good, natural, clean ingredients, and also looking at what's happening to the bottle afterwards. Where does it go? You know, even if it's plastic, probably try and use it again, if it is, because, you know, sometimes glass, we have a lot of products in glass, but some products are in plastic, because in the toilet you can't have a lot of glass products. So probably try and use the soap, the gel thing again for something in your house. And if you're throwing it away, give it to people who are using it in sustainable ways by giving it to factories where they are recycled. So we have to be conscious, because now the consumer is consuming a lot, far more than before. So we are also wasting a lot. So we have to be, that's why it's conscious beauty. Along with being clean beauty, it is also conscious beauty. We have to be conscious of what we are applying on ourselves, which is going into ourselves, into us, what is going in your drain and harming the environment or sustaining the environment. And the bottles we are using, are they being recycled? So we have to look at all those aspects.
I'm going to jump in, because one of the things we discussed previously was, with your products in particular, in order to be actually part of the slow beauty movement, you described not needing the same amount of the products each time you use it as comparable to, say, a non-Ayurvedic product.
Yes.
You use much smaller doses, so it lasts longer,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah, so because our products are 100% natural, there's zero fillers in them, so they're extremely, extremely potent. So you just need very, very little. So a hair oil bottle, for example, which is 100 ml, will last you about 5 to 6 months if you use it twice a week. You just need this much. So again, the sustainability comes in to our brand in this route as well.
And my next question, I know you've brought it up a couple of times, but how important is Ayurveda to your brand? And this is a specific question for you, because obviously I know it's part of the ethos, but can you explain the root of Ayurveda and why you're coming back to that?
Yes. Like I said when I introduced myself, that for me, Ayurveda was not only the Ayurveda where you go for a Panchkarma body massage. It was in the daily practices my mother did, by using turmeric when I hurt myself once very badly, fell off the cycle, and would keep going to the army hospital, and they would keep putting medicine, but it would not heal. So my mom one day got fed up and she said, back to the turmeric and the mustard oil. And 3 days later, my wound had healed. Not feeling very well, have a disturbed, funny stomach, well, have carom seed boiled in water. And it works. So for me, it was the most natural thing to start my product with. And again, I am trained as an aromatherapist, but my roots lie in Ayurveda. So I've clubbed them both together. A lot of our products have the Ayurvedic adaptogens in them. So if you're using the face cream at night, obviously your skin's going to get amazing, but it's going to help you to sleep and calm down beautifully, because it has adaptogen oils in it, like the moringa. So, like I said, beauty has to start from within. And if you're feeling well and not harming yourself, you're going to look fabulous.
I want to add something to what Malini just said. You know, a lot of us feel we don't understand this, and it can be a lot because the whole world is talking about it. is this one more new fad that I should take on? It's actually very simple, because it's up to people like us to educate our customers and demystify what it really means. Everyone understands signs, right? Star signs, water, fire, earth. Everyone's personalities are different. The interplay between the way the universe engages with you and your own personality, that is what defines the formulations when she's thinking about what product to make. It's so simple, because some people are very quiet and some people are fiery. So what works as a massage oil for one personality will not work for the other. Can you think about what is the most downloaded app in 2020?
2020.
One guess. Anyone in the audience, the most downloaded app in 2020?
Amazon.
No, not Amazon. In 2020, the world was hit by COVID. What was the Calm? You're right. Calm was the most downloaded app in 2020. Why? Because people just want to relax and give themselves a breather.
No.
And Ayurveda is not hard, but we need to trust ourselves to the hands of people who know what will work for you. And it's not just about what you put on your skin, it's about what diet you eat. It's about seasonal eating. What do you eat during the summer, the fall, the winter? You're going to eat a hot soup in winter. You're not going to eat it in the summer. You're going to have fresh salads. So the Spartan diet and the Spartan lifestyle, we don't realize that all of these things are interconnected. This is just a multi-layered delivery system that's being facilitated, which is holistic. That's how simple it is.
Which makes total sense. And that actually brings me very nicely to my next question, Anisha, which is coming back to you. Again, on the conversation of slow beauty and conscious beauty brands, a lot of them now claim to be very grounded in the conversation of nature, wellness, and health. So how is it that you're bringing that to the table with Secret Skin?
In terms of education, or as a value offering for the customers?
As a value offering for the customers.
So I'll ask you to zoom out. Because I knew that the user journey of purchase is so labor intensive, it's so cost prohibitive, it's so time consuming in this region, we wanted to create something that was so instantaneous when it's seamlessly integrated into your everyday life, that you wouldn't have to go outside for something for my husband, something for my child, something for myself. Is it makeup? Is it skincare? Is it hair care? Is it bath and body? Especially in the region that we live, no one spends more on beauty and personal care than in this region. We're talking about $260 per capita spend, right? However, there's so much to choose from. It's exhausting. So the easiest would be to find the value proposition where customers can find something easily, which is available to them easily, where you're busting the norms behind conscious beauty is not accessible, B, it's expensive, C, it's not readily available, and for efficacy, it doesn't work and it's not luxurious. None of these things are true, and this brand is testament to that. We started with 7 brands, we're at 32 today. We didn't have mama, baby, and pregnancy, we launched that. We didn't have makeup, we launched that. I wanted to have everything available at the touch of your fingers, so when you receive a box from Secret Skin, you're also a part of this conscious revolution. Because not only are you buying from a local business, but you're also providing microeconomies to indigenous tribes that wild harvest the ingredients that go into the product. You're reducing your carbon footprint. You're being a part of this whole revolution, so you should be incentivized for pro-environment behavior. So the plastic recycling program that we have, I can tell you, not everybody uses it to get eco rewards to come back. But if there is a spark of wanting to do it, then that's enough for me. And how do we deliver it? Education. So when you look at our Secret Skin Instagram, we are less about peddling the product at discounts. We're more about education, holistic wellness. We have an influencer affiliate program. No. In fact, there's someone sitting in this room today that I hope will become a part of Secret Skin Society, where we are very mindful, purposeful, and intentional about who we want to work with. You won't see our ambassadors peddling toothpaste today and baby care tomorrow. I'm very proud of this. So it's all about being open and honest and truthful and saying, I have a finger on the pulse of what's going on, of the future, and I am here to meet that demand.
Which is fantastic. And Malini, I'm going to bring that round to you a little bit with a question. Now, we're talking a lot about individual products and the benefits that they actually have for us, but how would you go about boosting your skincare without products?
I wish that I would love to tell you that if we just did everything perfect for ourselves, eat well, exercise, meditate, calm, our skins would glow completely. Unfortunately, that's not so true. Some people have naturally fabulous skins and they don't need to do very much. But again, having tried over the years, thousands of years, we know that putting a product on your skin, again, I'm looking at a clean product, will help you to have a less dehydrated skin by other than drinking, if you drank 20 glasses of water, for a woman who had very dehydrated skin, her skin will not get hydrated, unfortunately. So we actually need to do a holistic as a holy, but as a holistic, W-H-O-L-I-S-T-I-C. The whole approach has to be there, holistic and holistic. We must look after ourselves by exercising to whatever level we are comfortable. I think over-exercising is damaging our joints, so not the best thing, but do enough to make yourself feel good about yourself, and that inner glow that I have done something for myself definitely adds an outer glow also. Eating well, meditating or gardening, whatever ticks your fundas, please do that. Looking after pets and being happy with them, do that. Like I said, eating, we have to do our rituals also. Cleaning your skin twice a day with the right products is very important. Drinking water is very important. And using, even if minimalistic, but some products have to be used to obviously clean our skins, depending on our skin type, and to moisturize at least. Unfortunately, one without the other doesn't go.
Especially in this climate.
No, anyway, if we're living in a very cold climate where there are heaters in the house, we're going to be very dehydrated. Any amount of water is not going to help. So some heavy creams will be needed. In a climate like this, which is fully air conditioned, again we are dehydrated. So we need to use light moisturizing products. Again, look at the clean products. You don't have to buy products which may make you look good for a while and harm you in the long run. So that is very important, I think.
Add to this. Yeah. So Secret Skin being an e-commerce platform, we know a lot about the data. We know, and we're responsible with that data, because as technology grows, the need to innovate and disrupt becomes all the more important. At the same time, you also have to be responsible for the privacy and data protection of everything that the customer is feeding you. So what we have found in these 2+ years that we've been around, is that the women in this region buy for their family, right? And it's really interesting to watch the behavior of what they're buying when they're coming back. And when they come back, do they replenish what they bought earlier, or do they experiment with something new in another category for possibly someone else in their family? So we're able, of course, because Secret Skin was built on the blueprint of the selection, the architecture, the pricing, the convenience, with a sensorial experience that's important for a beauty company. But at the heart of it all, it's about understanding the consumer data and providing solutions to get better at their decision to purchase something on the basis of their skin type. So today you can come on Secret Skin and book a slot and a Zoom consult. And I have actually ended calls after I've begun them because they showed up with full makeup on. And I've said, listen, I'm not going to be able to talk to you unless you're sitting in front of the light. Now, usually when they come for this consult, everyone wants a quick fix, which is anti the slow beauty. And we tell them, instead of using an additional 3-4 products, tell me whether you're on contraceptive medication. Tell me how much water you're drinking. Are you constipated? No amount of product that I will tell you to use is going to fix your self if you don't listen to your first brain, which is the gut. So you have to educate the customer and also tell them, give me a picture. So they usually get my WhatsApp after this call. Send me, reverse what you're using and send me the ingredients list, because we're not dermatologists, but I'm able to tell them if they're reacting to something, then how they should use less and not use more, because it's minimalistic. It's actually skinimalistic, if you please. But education, 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 while most people are focusing on conversion, conversion, conversion.
Well, that brings me nicely onto the last question, which is, if a brand, and we are at Beautyworld, so there's potentially some startups around here, looking to get into the conscious beauty space, you as the entrepreneur will be able to guide them in the best way possible. What is the most important aspect that they should have if, for example, they wanted to be part of Secret Skin?
Would this be at the stage of before they think of their brand or when they bring it to market?
Before they bring it to you.
That means they already exist. So if you're calling yourself a conscious brand, if you're using the word organic, do you have the certifications in place? If you're calling yourself cruelty-free, do you have a certification in place?
So transparency is key.
Transparency is key. What is your shelf life? If it's 24 months, I want to know what is the stabilizing preservative that you're using in it. If you come to me and say 36 months, I'm like, what's the percentage of the stabilizing preservative that you're putting in it? And brands come and tell me, no one asks us these questions. And I'm like, for the customer who will ask me this question, I want to know. So there's a very strict due diligence process in how we onboard the brand, whether you're registered here with the local authorities. We also act as an incubator, so in case we want to distribute them, so we will do everything for them. What are you saying on your packaging? What are you saying to your customers? I've never onboarded a brand without meeting the founder. Does the philosophy of the founder align with my mission, which is to raise the awareness of women's health in the region through the narrative of beauty? These things are important to me as a retailer. And if you are citing that this is what I have, then I want to see it.
And Malini and Mishti, before we close out, what's the next steps for Saante? What can we expect?
CEO, I think she'll answer better. I'm just making the product.
So Saante, we've just done a whole rebranding of the brand. The next step is we want to sort of go into the entire region, get into Abu Dhabi, Al Ain, Fujairah, educate people about slow beauty, about clean beauty, about conscious beauty. Be a one-stop shop wellness brand in the region, and then move to the other Gulf countries.
Thank you very much. And thank you.
I want shampoo. When is shampoo coming? I want shampoo and conditioner.
So
we started with the hair oil, but we should go to the shampoo.
We will. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ladies, for a lovely discussion. I'm going to open up to the floor. If anybody's got any questions, be happy to ask the ladies to answer them. No? Fantastic. Thank you very much, and a big round of applause for my panelists. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for hosting.
Thank you, Amanda.